Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ad America. We hope everyone doing well and staying safe today. We welcome our audience who are joining us online and also on the studio. Welcome, everybody. My name is Aninda, one of the EGATs here in Ad America, and it's so glad to see you back again here. Ad America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young donations to learn more about the United States. On this event, we'll be having Startup Huddle discover your business opportunities. But in the meantime, let's break the ice with a little trivia. The question for today Silicon Valley is located in is it in A, Chicago, B, New York City, C, San Francisco, or D, Washington DC? Take a guess and let us know your answer on our social media because in the end of the event, we'll do a live shout out for those of you who can guess the answer correctly. Other than that, feel free to take a selfie or make Instagram story and tag at America's Instagram account. Without further ado, let me introduce you to our moderator today. He is a founder of impactner.com. Please welcome Mas Edi Wiharja.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Startup Huddle Jakarta collaboration with At America, and this is our third times do hybrid. Okay, before I get started, I want to like to say thank you very much for At America and GAN and Impactner. We can do this event in this awesome place. And I want to ask to all the audience, is there anyone here for the first time today? Raise your hand. Okay, thank you, welcome, welcome. Give applause to our audience. Welcome, Pak. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Edi Wiharja, and I am a founder of Impactner Startup Business School, and also co-founder of virtualmall.id, and I'm the organizer of Startup Huddle Jakarta. And also, I will be your moderator tonight. Can I have my slide, please? Okay, allow me to quick intro about Startup Huddle program. Startup Huddle program was started by GEN, the Global Entrepreneurship Network. Next. Now there are more or less is 50 communities across the world, and 30 countries that hold Startup Huddle event. And Startup Huddle is a program designed to help one entrepreneur at the time while strengthening with the local ecosystem. And we help entrepreneur discover a solution to the challenges they face through purposeful engagement with a broad array with a voice of local community. Next slide, please. The Startup Huddle format is consistent in each event. So we consistent meeting we do in the Zoom platform and also now in the at America. And next, please. So usually Startup Huddle, there will be one or two presenter who present their business idea and followed by question and answer. But today we have one startup with two person, the couple startup. Okay, so this is will be excited, yeah. So this is the place that this is not a pitching competition, but this is the discussion to help the entrepreneur. So the business model will be sharpened. And we hope we can help the founder semakin lebih keren lagi dari bisnisnya, kurang lebih seperti itu. Oke, and don't be shy, kalau mau tepuk tangan silakan. Okay, our support is a monthly event like this. we help the entrepreneurs so they can grow more. Okay, next. So a lot of partners ask me how I promote this program. So I have two ways. The first one is I talk to all the friends, the community, uh, and they very supportive, and they help us a lot. And this is the tribe of iCommunity. Wow, the best community, yeah, to always support Startup Huddle. And also, uh, we come to university and then campus and then the government. So they help us so we can have this event like this. And also, we use social media like WhatsApp group and others to bless our event. And we want to more and more people knows about Startup Huddle. So we hope that you always can get uh, join into our movement. So help us to spread the words. And next slide, please. Our success metric is not about how many people come into this place. I don't see that this is our success. No, but our success is when we can help the founder because we focus with the founders, not how many audience. If we have 100, so we are very happy. If we only have 20% in this room, so we are always happy because we always help the founders. Next slide, please. So today, our topic event is discover your business opportunities. And today, we learn about, nah ini mesti bahasa Indonesia nih. Katanya sebuah sistem itu bisa dibuat oleh para pengusaha dengan sangat cepat. Secepat merebus mie instan, itu kata foundernya. Nanti kita coba lihat ya, oke? Eh, nah sekarang saya balik ke community representative. Thank you, we have already with us three my best friend ya. Saya pikir ini udah keren banget nih bareng-bareng ya. Ada Budia, wah ini Budia ini super woman ini menurut saya. Mesti applause nih, ini keren banget nih ini Budia nih. Ini nggak ada lawannya ini. Nah Budia Yusuf ini adalah Sekretaris Jenderal Indonesia Council for Small Business, Chairwoman Womanpreneur Indonesia Network. Ini kalau saya bacain bisa 5 menit lagi nih, makanya udah 2 aja Bu ya. But thank you ya Bu, thank you so much untuk datang di acara Startup Huddle ya. Dan sekarang Bu Dia itu represent the community of incubator. Sebenarnya banyak, mau jadi mentor, mau jadi coach, dia banyak sekali. Tapi hari ini represent di incubator. So the second one is Pak Kevin Wu. Nah ini keren banget ini. Pak Kevin Wu ini is, Wakil Ketua Departemen Bappepan Kadin Indonesia dan penulis buku Everything is Possible, Berubah atau Punah yang diterbitkan oleh Gramedia. Tahu kan Gramedia? Kalau yang terbit Gramedia itu berarti bukan kaleng-kaleng. Kurang lebih begitu. Nah ini juga banyak nih, saya harus cut jadi simple ya. Kalau enggak nanti kepanjangan bacanya. So, salah satu yang Pak Kevin sedang lakukan adalah program partner with Alibaba Netpreneur Training Indonesia dari 2019 sampai sekarang. Dan kalau nggak salah eventnya lagi ada jalan ya Pak ya. Nah, he's representing the community of mentors. And the third one is, ya ini juga keren banget nih, ini Pak Yoas, teman seperjuangan. Ini saya banyak belajar dari dia nih bersama di 52 Group waktu di IP Activator. Jadi Pak Yoas itu Director of GDT IT Consulting and Venture, IT Head di 52 Group. Give applause. Thank you Pak Yoas. Dan juga sebagai Ketua STEMIC Quera, School of Technopreneur Nusantara. Ini jadi sengaja dihadirkan hari ini karena yang present itu orang IT gitu kan, makanya mesti ada orang IT. Dan Pak Yoas representing the community of investor. Okay, next slide please. So, ini tadi sudah, next slide. Startup Huddle Jakarta is almost 2 years, since November 2020 ya. Dan kita banyak dokumentasi di sosial media dan kebanyakan kita lakukan adalah Zoom. Tapi di 1 tahun ini kita lakukan hybrid seperti ini. Dan akan banyak lagi acara-acara dan kita juga punya banyak kegiatan gitu. Sudah dikontrak sama iCommunity di setiap bulan di minggu pertama ya. Itu ada Startup Huddle juga di situ. Dan kita ada di sini ya. Wah, ini keren banget nih. Selalu rame gitu ya. Dan kemudian kalau misalnya ada teman-teman yang belum pernah ngikutin acara ini dan mau lihat videonya gitu ya, ataupun mungkin mau ikut ada acara apa gitu ya ke depan. Nah, boleh lihat-lihat sosial media kita di Startup Huddle Jakarta ataupun di sosial medianya Impactner. Nah, kalau mau bantu untuk share, hashtagnya adalah Startup Huddle Jakarta ataupun Startup Huddle saja. Okay, once again, this is my last slide. Thank you for at America and collaboration with Jen and also Impactner Startup Business School that always support this event. Okay, now I will introduce our presenter, Miss Evelyn Marceline. You can join me. Oke, sendiri atau berdua? Berdua dong, berdua dong. Oke, ya. Bu Evelyn adalah CEO Indigo. Indogo kok Indigo, aduh. Indogo, CEO at Gold ID, Gold, Diamond. Oh ini kaya banget lah. Diamond, Jewelry gitu ya semuanya, emas ada dia. Ini keren banget nih. Kemudian Evelyn is passionate in IT world, specialist in business system because it's full of challenge and fun katanya. To solve the obstacle, meet the new people and change the problem to solution, especially in autopilot business. And her life vision and mission, she believes everyone is CEO. Okay, Chief Example of Others. Itu CEO maksudnya. Cool kan? Keren ya? Oke. Nah, oke. Bu Evelyn, saya kasih waktu 6 menit untuk presentasi. Selesai nggak selesai, saya stopin ya. Bercanda saya. Oke. Stage is yours.
Okay. Ready? Okay, thank you everyone once again for the chance and opportunity. Can I have yes from you this night? Are you ready?
Yes.
One more time, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you the story. This is the problem that we found. Yeah, if you want to build a house, you will need a tools, isn't it? Yeah. How about if you want to build 1 million entrepreneur? You will also need a tools, isn't it? For business, yeah? So this is the business demand. The next generation back office software system, people want just from phone. Yeah, they don't want any others. And we know the existing problem now. First, some companies still use DOS or the black and white screen, which is actually is already discontinued technology. But did you know they still use it? Second, maybe they can have solution for one vendor, but it cannot be upgraded because, yeah, you know, one vendor just sell one license and it cannot be upgraded. The third, maybe they will choose tailor-made, which is it will long time didn't understand what was needed, high cost, etc. Yeah, and at the end, nowadays maybe people can choose subscription, but it's also not enough. The future, isn't it? Okay.
Okay, and Indogo is the solution. Because Indogo is online consultation and instant back office business tools. So from the online consultation, the users, they can get the solution through the question we ask in our website. And they can try instant demo within 3 seconds, and the username and password will arrive on their email. So Indogo have 7 wonders. Instant software ready for, this is our products. And Indogo positioning right now is for ultra micro to micro and to middle businesses. Like instant noodles, Indogo come instantly. After the demo, you can, the users can suitable, like they trying and suitable with the business, and they try, and then let Indogo do the magic for them. Because Indogo machine will create the back office system only 3 minutes after the payment, and no installation needed. The key differentiator for end user benefit for Indogo, the requirement is you just need the phone and the internet. And we can give the unlimited devices and users. And for the product license, we believe it will build the loyal customer. And the company will get the benefit from the license and also the cloud. The unfair advantages that Indogo has is all Indogo products is ready for IoT, QR code technology, and other ecosystem technology, such as marketplace, a payment gateway, and any other thing.
Okay, so this is the similarity, strong and weakness analyzed that we found in the market. This is some vendor that we already did with the market. Yeah, and this is our market opportunity. All business need an easy, affordable, and of course complete system to level up. And this is our target opportunity in next 2 years. And this is our growth strategy. And this is our last 2 years financial report. Okay?
Okay, so what is actually Indogo next step? So this is our next step, because that's why we're coming here. The first one, what we need is network for growth to build the trust and also the testimony. The second one, we need the mentor support with the experience, also with the same field like us. And the second one, so it's not only about the financial things. So if there is a financial things, the purpose for that finance is to build the technology in our company, and because Indogo want to go global. And the last one is marketing plan execution to build Indogo business community all over the world.
Okay, so this is us. Please introduce. I'm Evelyn, just 5 digit, FVLN, just like Pancasila. I love Indonesia, by the way.
And I'm Vishnu. I'm the CTO. It's same, 5 digit, VISHNU. And this is our publication.
And we know to support the growth, we have the mechanism and system also. So it's very important also. It's not just about the tools for build the business, but we also give them to support the growth of their business. Okay, this is some of our happy customer, and we love to help you with your business. This is our team-based value. We have simple motto, excellent in awareness, and this is some of our information for last what we already did. And this is our Indogo bestseller from Gold, like before already mentioned, in retail and in fabric and textile. And
So if you need tools for business, you can click
Indogo.id.
Indogo.id, because Indogo is online consultation and instant back office business tools. Many thanks. Indogo believe everyone is CEO. Find us in Google. So thank you for your time, and question and answer will welcome.
Oke,
Thank
give
you.
applause. Wah, keren kan? Ya, secepat mie instan ya.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Evelyn and Vishnu, for your nice presentation. And as usual, first I want to give a chance to our representative community to give question. First is Budia, and she's representing the community of incubator, and then there is Pak Kevin as representing the community of mentors, and it's the second turn and to give question, and the third one is Pak Yoas as representing the community of investor. After all of them, I will give a chance to the audience to ask question, and for the audience, please prepare your question. So you can raise your hand if you want to ask question. And for audience in online, in the Zoom platform or in the Instagram or in the Facebook, you can write in the chat box and I will read it for you. And before we start, I will remind for community representative and for the audience as our ground rules. Do and don'ts. Do. Community representative and audience do give powerful feedback and help founders clarify their business models. Community representative do give solution rather than critic. And don't. Community representative and audience don't act like a judge because this is not a pitch competition. And don't get stuck only in the technical presentation skill. And community representative and audience don't ask question like a machine gun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't do that. Please ask 1 or 2 questions for 1 or 2 minutes explanation. Not for community representative and presenter. Please forgive me if I must interrupt or remind again community representative if the question is out of context. And for the presenter, this is not a one-way discussion. So you can ask to the community representative or the audience, okay? So please remember duration of time because we have limit times. So have fun all. Okay, Budia, you will be the first to ask question. And before of that, please say a few words about you, Bu. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Edi. And good evening,
Good
Ibu
Hello.
Evelyn and also Bapak
Vishnu.
Vishnu. Okay. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dia Yusuf, and I already involved in developing SME in Indonesia since 2006, I think. Yeah. And also I have my own entrepreneur. I have my own business. So what you present here is really interesting because it will be help many entrepreneurs in Indonesia. But maybe you can evaluate, yeah, because in Indonesia, I think they entering the entrepreneurship because of necessity is not by design. And until now, it's still like that. And if you say here is a 64 million SME, this actually not the actual data. So I think maybe you can explore again because mostly also as a petani, a farmer. So because of the necessity itself. So, but who serious about the entrepreneurship, it will be need what you present today. But based on the my experience, this program like this is already many my friend also, many friends already try to build, but I don't know until now still not going well for the product like because so this is really a challenge for you. But if this will be, but I know this is will be solution, yeah. But you must be maybe have another evaluation and also another research. What I want to asking here is about your target market. who is actually your target market? Because if you say only 6.4 million, where is that? Because like internet infrastructure is still not many areas still not covered by the internet. Yeah. So this is, and also about the digitalization, SMEs still have a lack of knowledge about the digitalization. So what actually, who is your target market? You can explain. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I answer now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You want? Okay, thank you, Budia, one more time. Nice to meet you too. Actually, Indogo is the last part of our journey because when you see the Indogo, people will see, oh, okay, something instantly. And it's so simple, but in the back, it's very hard. I know it. And I already experienced from 2008. That's why I very confident that Indogo is the helper for them. Because I know also before the pandemic, our plan is should be like 2025 to launch the Indogo. But because of pandemic, a lot of people until now they understand about digitalization, and we already explore also in all Indonesia city. Yeah, I said city, not to the urban area, but some of urban area also because the government have planned like BUMDes, yeah, like BUMDes, and they put the internet inside the suburban. Yeah, so I'm very confident they can have this digitalization because our solution is also use Indonesian language. It's not in English in all products from POS to inventory and to more ERP until payroll. And for the petani, yeah, the farmer, yeah, and for the farmer nowadays they already know that we all already also have like one product of Indogo is Burju, which is the farmer can sell by themselves directly to the customer. So this is yeah, the market is so big for us. We know it. That's why our hope today we have mentor to can guide us which one that we need to shoot first. That's my explanation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you want to ask, Budia?
Later maybe.
Okay. Okay. Now the second turn is Pak Kevin. Same like Budia, you can tell us a little bit about you, 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, hi everybody. Hi,
Hello.
Evelyn.
Thank you.
I think this is a very good presentation. Since you have 6 minutes to introduce all from A to Z, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause a lot of question from me. First, introduce. I'm Kevin Wu. I'm start my first business in 6 years, in 1 grade, and I'm also a business consultant and start my own startup with Budia as my mentor. Yeah, yeah. And then right now I'm active in Kadin, Indonesian Chambers of Commerce. In the before is in creative industry, including like this software startup, etc. Okay, my question is, if I don't see a clear your early adopter, and I don't know what stages right now in your situation right now. Maybe you can tell us a little bit. You said you start in 2008, and how situation right now? Are you still in certain industry, or you try to solve all the small business and small business, or what? Maybe you can make us clear what is your target market and your who is your early adopter. I want to know. Thank you.
Okay. You want to answer? Oh, okay. So thank you for the question. It's actually I like for programming is since I'm in high school, so it's maybe 2002. Before I was built for my father company, yeah. So until 2018 I was employee. Yeah, 2018 I was employee, and 2019 I start my startup, but not Indogo. So Indogo is start because of pandemic actually, because I was thinking people need something very fast and very clearly and very complete. So I built Indogo, the online consultation back office tools, which one all the entrepreneur, maybe in retail, in gold, in textile, when they need the cloud system software for the solution, they can go to Indogo to do the online consultation, and just 3 minutes they need to have their demo in their mail. So our stage is for Indogo is very early. Actually, the website just up this morning too. Yeah, because of this presentation. So yeah, for Indogo is very early, but for the product inside Indogo is already mature from maybe around 2008. Yeah, maybe it's
So sorry about the early adapters. Is that mean which consumers? What is that? What you mean?
Yeah.
So actually, like about the early adapters is uh, some business that already stable. So the business owner that already understand why they're doing business. Sometimes it's already stable. Like the business is already stable for maybe 2 or 3 years. So it's much more easily to absorb rather than the newcomers that new like Ibu says before, like new come to the business usually is really hard. So the early adapters come from there. So we learn from there. So we get it's like that.
Do you have your early adapter right now? Who are there?
nowadays the majority is from Gold.
Yeah, gold.
Yeah, because of the pandemic, the first generation go to the second generation, and all the second generation need digitalization, especially in Gold, because yeah, the Gold system is quite hard, yeah, to build it. But yeah, we did it. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
mean the retail store selling gold? You mean
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And also the retail and yeah, textile.
Retail,
The
textile,
three, yeah,
yes.
the three of main customer is from Gold, retail, and textile.
And textile.
Yeah.
Fabric and textile.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Kevin. So now the third one is Pak Yoas. Same like Pak Kevin, Pak Yoas, you can share about yourself 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Evelyn
Thank you.
and Vishnu. It's a great presentation, and it's good to see some startups developing solution for IT. And since we are also the same in the same field, so it's so excited to see your presentation. Uh, Actually, my question before that, I need to introduce myself. My name is Yowas. I've been 7 or 8 years being an IT consultant, also developing business to go digital, but in an old way by developing their system and also developing their culture. And right now, I'm also handling STEAMIC. It's a what is it like campus for IT. So we also developed a new curriculum that help the student to go beyond what they learn and to create startup business also. So basically, what I'm going to ask is actually pretty much the same with Pak Kevin. Actually, mine is a little bit different. My question would be, can you explain more in what solution Indogo is strong at? Because from my experience, uh, it's really tough when we say that our program can handle everything, and that's why there's a reason every company will love to pay for just for a software company, just for uh, HR system, just for the financial system, just for the inventory system. It's because they are so good at their field. So, what is your expertise in their field?
Okay. Thank you one more time. So this is the experience from 2008. I already built like one ERP. So different with other when they build from POS to ERP, for me it's different. I built from ERP and I make a separate module to POS. So what I did now, there's like you said like how you give people everything like. So nowadays I already have like a big in ERP and I just already have status. So for example, if they just need POS, I just need on off and everything like that until the integration to payroll. So for example, the very big system that I already made, people come from fingerprint and then they go to the system. So if there is no fingerprint, there is no system. And after that, all system already have like I called sign off program, which is all the system already tell, for example, you already open purchase order, but if you not finish the purchase order, you cannot put fingerprint until you go out. So I already have the big ERP because the pandemic and I saw the SME already know about this more. Yeah, the growth is quite big. Before I was
fast.
thinking, yeah, it's very fast. before they didn't know about the digitalization and they just thinking about how we get money, just it. But nowadays, because maybe the growth, the growth of the market, they already tell like digitalization can help cut the operational digitalization. Nowadays, for example, like when we go to Ito, everything was already with card. People already aware that digitalization can help them, is more easy and can help them the growth.
Kalian mau bertanya dalam bahasa atau dalam Inggris juga oke. So, ada yang mau bertanya? Kalau mau bertanya angkat tangan, silakan. Belum ada? Oh ada, oke. Nanti sebutkan nama. Ada mic? Yes. Tolong sebutkan nama dan dari mana? Sini Pak. Ya silakan.
Malam semuanya, perkenalkan nama saya Shana, saya dari e-community. Pertanyaan saya adalah kira-kira untuk sistem itu harganya paling murah berapa, terus paling mahal berapa yang pernah dijual? Itu saja.
Oke.
It's tough question.
Oke, paling murahnya itu karena pakai bahasa ya, aku jawab lagi pakai bahasa. Paling murahnya itu 149.000, mahalnya disclosure. Can I right?
Ya. Udah, gitu aja. Masih ada lagi, boleh?
Boleh. Yang bikin murah itu misalkan dapatnya standarnya apa, terus kalau mahal itu yang menyebabkan mahal itu apa?
Oke, itu semuanya tergantung dari fitur. Yang paling murah itu berarti dia state-nya hanya di POS. POS itu berarti hanya mikirkan omset dan penjualan. Nanti naik-naiknya mulai ke kompleksitas terhadap perusahaan itu sendiri. Jadi kalau dari starter, biasa mereka entry-nya ya di POS. Dari POS mereka mulai punya waktu, mereka mulai urus biasanya inventory. Dari inventory, biasa mereka punya waktu, biasanya mereka udah mulai urus ARAP atau hutang piutang. Dari hutang piutang biasanya naik ke accounting, dari accounting biasanya naiknya ke multi gudang. Dari multi gudang baru mulai kompleksitas tingkat dewa. Seperti PO lah, nanti ada CO lah kalau untuk tekstil, kalau untuk gold mungkin mulai ke semua persen dimasukkan, kemudian harus kontak ke pajak dan sebagainya. Sampai ke yang tadi mungkin sampai ke urusan integration payroll, mungkin kita juga sampai ke SCM, supaya integration juga kita udah ada, customer integration kita udah ada, sampai ke e-commerce pun kita udah ready. Itu yang membuat harganya biasanya dimakin mahal.
Thank you.
Oke, thank you Bu. Oke, ada lagi dari audiens ya Pak. Nah, hai Pak Yefes. Senang ketemu Bapak nih. Ya silakan Pak.
Okay, thank you. Just a simple question. Is these tools can replace the human resource, and how difficult the human resource needs for this technology? Is it just an operator, or should we have the IT engineer, or what? Thank you.
Oke, thank you. Ini pertanyaan yang saya sangat tunggu-tunggu sebetulnya. Akhirnya ada mengeluarkan, tadinya mau nanya balik, cuman udah ditanya duluan. Jadi kalau ditanya tentang replace, saya mau jawab yes. Tapi kabar baiknya, si orang ini akan menjadi entrepreneur. Karena Indogo akan help dia jadi entrepreneur. Thank you.
Oke, thank you.
Udah?
Udah.
Oh gitu. Yuk kita berikan aplaus. Oke.
Sorry. The last question. How about the human resource skills? Do we need the like I said, just an operator, admin, or should we need the managers for to run or to operate this system?
Oke, sampai sekarang untuk last our analyze ya for implementation ya. Actually I bring my team KA2. Minimum they can use WhatsApp, they can use our product. Minimum they can use WhatsApp. But if they didn't know everything about WhatsApp, I honestly say it's quite tough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Pak Edi.
Oke.
It's enough.
Thank you Pak Yefes. Is there any more question from that side? Kalau nggak ada, harus dari sini. Pak Ivan harus nanya. Oke, so bisa pinjam mic? Oke, thank you. Yes, Pak Ivan silakan.
Thank you, Pak Edi. Um, okay. How big is your team? How many people?
Okay, if you ask for the people, I use a little bit different strategy. Before I already have like 20, but since pandemic, because yeah, there is a little bit about leadership issue in my company. Nowadays, I use freelancer, and it's more than 20.
Okay.
Yeah, some of core team not more than 10.
All right.
Yeah.
So my question is, you said you've been doing this since 2019 or 2020?
For the Indogo,
Yeah.
Indogo is 2020. Yeah.
20, yeah, is when the pandemic started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many customers do you have now?
So actually,
Roughly, I'm not asking for,
roughly,
hundreds,
yeah, it's hundreds.
500,
It's
10,
around 500.
around 500 customers.
Yes.
Good. Now, explain to me a little bit your marketing strategy. How do you promote your business?
So actually, that's why that's what we asked in our presentation, that we want to grow it. So we want to grow it. So that's why we thinking about the marketing strategy. But right now we only use like the word of mouth. Like for example, in the gold business, usually their business is like me. So the one who have another gold shop, maybe it's my cousin, maybe it's their father, brother, cousin, uncle, aunt. So everything it's coming from the family. So if we got one, so they will spread out, something like that.
Okay.
So mostly we coming from the word of mouth.
Okay. I mean, that works, but I think the speed would not be as quick as you want it. And you
Sure.
said,
Yes.
you want to evangelize digitalization, and you should also digitalize your business, right? I mean, your
Yes.
marketing strategy so that you can actually get more and more customers. But you said that you already have about 500 customers. I mean, are they all here in Jakarta or
It's
spread
the
all
whole
over
Indonesia.
whole Indonesia?
Yeah, it's from
So
Aceh
how
to
do you
Papua.
and you get them all through referral, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
And some SEO.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the thing is, I personally think if you have just started a business, you should pretty much focus all the efforts to promote it, right, and get as many customers as you can. Uh, it doesn't matter, I mean, if you want to do word of mouth kind of strategy, or you do, digital strategy, Facebook, Instagram, as you said, that's also possible, right? But I was thinking, because you were saying that you're focusing primarily on the retail sector, particularly in the textile business, jewelry business, what else?
The gold.
Retail.
Retail, gold,
Yeah,
and
but you
textile.
also have like you're helping farmers selling their product directly to customers. Now, I'm a bit skeptical on that one, because I don't think that all farmers actually want to sell their products directly to customers.
Mm,
Yeah.
I
okay.
personally think that. I don't know,
Yeah.
because it's not everybody is entrepreneur, basically. I mean, farmers are
Mm.
farmers. They're not necessarily entrepreneurs. I mean, if you
Yes.
force farmers to become entrepreneurs, that could be quite challenging. Yeah, because they're good in farming, they're not necessarily good in selling. Right? So, but what I was thinking is, suppose if I go to places like Pasar Baru, right? There's nothing but just textile stores, gold, jewelry stores. If you could like basically get all of them to become your customers, that's a major business. But how do you go about, and how do you approach them? Because I mean, you can't just knock on someone's door and it's like, hey, would you like me to help you with you know back office, or your stock monitoring or whatsoever, right? I mean, that's why you need a strategy. I personally, but I mean, if you haven't thought about that, maybe this is just a suggestion that you should maybe kind of think about. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
you,
you.
Bobby.
thank you. Actually, I have a little bit information about this because back again is because pandemic. Last time we go to Bali, and in Bali we know a lot of farmer there but we know Bali is pariwisata, yeah, from the income, and then because pariwisata is nothing, they go to the farm, and then because we meet some of them, and they said how we sell it directly from us to the customer. We don't want to use another agent or something like that. That's why we try to build some the product for them. It's for the farmer. But if you said like big and huge, that's why the Indogo built is for it because Indogo is a platform. It's not a system. Yeah, Indogo is an online platform for consultation, which is, for example, everyone now already hear about Indogo, and they maybe tomorrow they meet the new entrepreneur, right? And I need a system. I already headache with people. Already headache with human resource. Do you know someone that you very well known about it and maybe already have the very tough system? And then they will say, okay, you can go to Indogo. Indogo for Indonesia is Indonesia Maju, right? So you can go to Indogo, you do online consultation, and you can just try the demo. And after they try the demo, they try the demo by themselves, and then they did, and then I think it's very easy, and I will go to Indogo. So that's also why we built the Indogo. It's also one of our strategy plan. So everyone can be the CEO, the chief example of others, something like that.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
that's a valid point, certainly. But again, like I said, I mean, Ibu Dia said there are 64 millions of
Yeah.
SMEs in Indonesia. I mean, if you could just help maybe 10% of them, that's already like a huge achievement, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, how do you help them, right? I mean, I personally think if you could just help them sell their products maybe at Tokopedia or Shopee, that's already a big achievement because, I mean, that really helps them actually to promote their business, right? Instead of them doing it directly by themselves. Not each and every single toko should have their own website.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that would be too much. And then if you have a website, now who's going to look at your website? Then you have to, again, also promote your website. Then you need another marketing strategy for each one of them, right? So, I mean, I think focusing on retail is good, but this is my suggestion. Yeah? I mean, retail is like from A to Z. I mean, how can you provide solution for all sorts of businesses? I mean, that could be very challenging. Unless you're saying, okay, I'm just, basically focusing on a payroll solution or warehouse management, things like that, that everybody would probably have similar problems. Yes. But I think like a gold store would probably have completely different problems compared to, a grocery store, right? Which will also have a completely different problem than maybe a toy store. Yeah, things like that. I don't know. Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, give applause. Okay, that is the session 1. And the session 2, both of you can sit down. Oke, duduk aja dulu. Ini kesian juga nih kalau nggak dikasih duduk. Oke, tadi yang pertama kali sudah tanya-tanya tentang bisnisnya gitu ya. Nah sekarang di Startup Huddle, kita ini bukan satu penilaian untuk kompetisi gitu kan, seperti saya ulangin. Nah di sini adalah satu tempat untuk kita membantu mereka agar supaya mereka bisnisnya itu bisa menjadi lebih tajam. Nah, ronde kedua ini, sesi kedua ini, community representative bisa memberikan satu pandangan atau masukan. Sama seperti tadi Pak Ivan sudah memberikan pandangan gitu ya. Nah jadi silahkan Bu Dia, you can start first Bu.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think for build 1 million entrepreneur, yeah, that's your goal, right?
Yeah, to
Yeah.
help actually.
Yeah. So with whom you will be have like cooperation or collaboration? Because many organization, also many individual, I see that they also want to build the same with you. So maybe you can have a collaboration and also cooperation with them, and also like Pak Ivan also say that maybe you need a key distribution channel, yeah, for your product. And also I see here about the financial, yeah, about your financial, because I'm not seeing about your 3 years projection. You only put here is a debit and credit, which is not a profit actually. Usually people in the presentation is to put a profit here, but this is not a profit. I think this is debit and credit. So I think you need like a financial projection, let's say for the 3 years. This is a suggestion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Budia. Pak Kevin, you have some suggestion?
Iya, saya deliver in bahasa ya.
Yep.
Ya,
Okay.
oke. Oh, but this at Amerika Bu ya? Oh, oke.
Feels free Pak.
Ya, feels free ya. Oke. Yang pertama tentu saya juga mindsetnya marketing ya. Jadi positioning itu penting ya. Nah, ketika presentasi dibuka dengan problem, menurut saya agak melenceng gitu ya. Saya agak kurang nangkep nih antara opening problem lalu masuk ke solusinya, itu menurut saya agak ada missing link gitu ya. Karena kan di sini kelihatannya menciptakan 1 juta entrepreneur, kemudian problem-problem tadi mengenai maintain software yang kalau sudah jadi seperti apa, kalau yang customize atau tailor made seperti apa. Tapi jawaban solusi dari kalian kan juga sebenarnya apakah tailor made?
No.
Enggak ya? Berarti kalian juga sudah jadi kan? Berarti kalian template juga ya?
Iya, tapi
Oke.
template-nya bedanya kalau orang cuma directly fokus just one. Kalau tadi mungkin aku juga nambahin sedikit dari Pak Ivan, bagaimana kamu menanggapi untuk semua retail gitu ya.
Iya.
Ya, yang kita buat secara solution itu, secara produknya, itu kita totally until now ada 175 yang udah ready to use.
175
Produk.
Macam.
yang bisa di-plug gitu ya? Plug
Iya.
gitu ya?
Ya,
Plug
kurang
and
lebih.
play gitu ya?
Iya, kurang lebih 175. Di mana sebelumnya kita bingung kan, gimana kita nggak mungkin marketing satu persatu.
Iya.
Kamu perlu apa? Kamu perlu apa? Kan nggak mungkin. Maka dari
Iya.
itu kenapa kita buat Indogo. Online consultation dari hasil experience kita untuk anyone can sell gitu. Jadi waktu tadi juga mungkin sedikit menjawab yang Budia ya tentang key distribution. Pertama sih kita memang masuknya komunitas. Ya itu makanya pertama kali saya ke Jakarta, I thank you for iCommunity actually. Saya masuk lewat mereka dulu, kemudian dari sana saya growth, saya bisa masuk ke komunitas di Palembang, saya bisa masuk komunitas di Manado, dan lain-lainnya. Dan dari situ menjadi headlinknya saya. Kira-kira siapa dari mereka yang mungkin bisa menjadi reseller, and how they sell. Back again, because it's IT solution, they maybe didn't know, they don't understand, that's why we built Indogo. Mungkin kurang lebih seperti itu sih gambarannya.
So you don't need the knowledge about the software. You can ask the user, come to here, because sometimes the business owner they know what they want, but belum tentu si salesnya itu ngerti gitu apa yang diomongin business owner. Sometimes itu gapnya gitu.
Iya. Nah, ini mungkin yang dari jebakan tadi ya, mungkin juga apa yang sudah Pak Ivan sampaikan, Bu Dia sampaikan, memang kadang-kadang kita sebagai startup itu punya idealis ya, ngejawab semua problem. Nah, pada kenyataannya nggak bisa kita menjawab semua problem itu. That's why dengan sumber daya terbatas tadi kan, dengan freelance IT lagi ya. Nah, that's why karena kita punya keterbatasan, kita nggak bisa menjawab semua masalah. Nah, mungkin itu pesan Pak Ivan juga tadi ya, kalau saya nggak salah ya.
Yes.
Nah, that's why memang challenge yang paling penting dari startup dengan sumber daya yang terbatas adalah fokus dulu. Problem apa utama yang mau kita jawab gitu. Nah, memang makanya oleh karena itu dari logika itu challenge utamanya adalah pertama kan kita bicara product market fit. Nah, tadi
Yes.
Pak Ivan sudah mancing ya dengan berarti sekarang kita punya atau customer udah ada sekitar 500 nih ya.
Iya.
Sekitar 500. Nah, dari 500 ini kira-kira dia banyakan di industri
Gold.
apa? Gold.
Gold,
Berapa
ya.
persen dari 500 itu?
80%.
80%.
Iya.
Oke, berarti sekitar 300 malah 400 sorry. Nah,
Iya.
berarti berapa banyak pemain gold di Indonesia yang
To be honest nggak banyak.
nggak banyak.
Nggak banyak. Makanya kenapa kita nggak bisa nembak cuman gold aja. Jadi
Oke.
mungkin saya sebut salah satu nama, depannya I, belakangnya gold. Mungkin teman-teman tahu lah ya, itu yang terbesar di Indonesia
Oke.
untuk yang pegang emas dengan investasi. Dan dia yang satu-satunya mendapat izin dari OJK. Dan saya coba kontak dia, saya bertanya tentang pemain gold. Before pandemic dia keluarin satu angka, dan after pandemi dia keluarin lagi satu angka. Which is buat kita kalau kita sekarang tembak gold, ya it will not enough for business actually.
Oke, jadi
Makanya dari
secara
situ,
market jadinya kurang seksi lah ya.
iya
Karena
sebetulnya kurang
terbatas
seksi.
ya.
Iya,
Oke.
tapi karena kita berpikir kita harus ada yang menang dulu satu,
Iya.
kita tembak dulu yang gold sekarang.
Iya.
Nah, jadi setelah kita merasa nanti udah menang di gold, kita untuk growth-nya bakal lebih gampang karena kita udah benar-benar punya customer testimoni yang benar-benar real pakai. Dan untuk gold ini sendiri, to be honest, sekarang di market itu mungkin hampir sepertinya nggak punya kompetitor yang di bagian
Iya.
cloud. Karena nggak ada yang mau main karena nggak seksi tadi.
Iya.
Tapi karena mungkin itu adalah entrance levelnya kita tetap jalanin
Oke.
gitu.
Nah, itu mungkin part of strategi lah ya. Memang
Iya.
kalau kita bicara dari awal kita udah mapping bahwa industri gold ini ternyata terbatas, dan tapi kalau kalian jadi rajanya ya mungkin itu one of the stepping stone lah ya.
Betul.
Nah, mungkin sasaran keduanya di tekstil tadi.
Sebetulnya lebih ke retail sih.
Retail. Nah,
Sebetulnya lebih ke
retail itu
retail.
mungkin lebih tough ya.
Betul.
Tapi karena sudah punya use case, nah mungkin bisa
Betul.
dieksplor ke sana.
Betul.
That's why tadi pertanyaan saya lebih ke early adaptornya.
Ya.
Dan itu mungkin kalau secara produk dan segmennya sudah masuk, saya rasa PR marketingnya udah sekitar 50% tuh.
Iya.
Ya, karena kan sudah nge-solve ya.
Iya.
Saya rasa mungkin itu sih poin saya. Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pak.
Oke, thank you Pak Kevin. So, Pak Yoas, it's your
Okay.
turn now.
Thank you. Well, actually, it's quite connected ya. What I asked with Pak Ivan asked, because in my experience, when we ask a company whether they know what they need to do to develop their business becoming digital, basically they don't have any idea what to do. They basically don't know what to do. That's why it's good, like what Pak Kevin said. In startup, what we do is not buying a sport car. We are using a small car, then developing the wheel, developing the mirror, upgrading the tone, and going one step at a time to the goal that we want to achieve. I think that is the main thing that you guys need to think of, because what I see, it's quite confusing, because like Pak Kevin said, and I asked previously, what sector that you want to touch first as the first adapter? Then I add the question, in what area of expertise that your software is quite good at? It's so important. I just talked to Pak Edi. I have a friend that have an ERP that he developed because he has his own business. So he's developing the ERP from time to time, years to years, and now it's quite big. And what he do is, Payos, can you help me to sell the ERP? I said, I cannot sell your ERP because I don't know what sector you want to sell. What area are you strong at? If you said that you are good at gold sector, then so be it. I think that's the point that you need to really go dig down before you go entering the retail market. And like Pak Kevin and Pak Ivan said, retail market is another jungle. It's another business, and it's so complicated that you might need to look at from time to time, so your solution can be really resolving the business and really helping the business. I think that's the most important thing from you for you to do. And one more advice that I can point out is that I'm quite confused because you are positioning yourself with POS system, because basically POS system is not the solution. From my 7 to 8 years of experience, software is only 20% of the solution that I can give. The 80% is the change management of the business. It's so important that we change all the behavior, all the system, all the SOPs, and all the anything else. It's so complicated. So you guys need to look at where you stand and what solution that you can give. So when you point out to entering a new market or a new sector, it will be a really sharp arrow. Like it's a good and a sharp and a good bullet. I think that's one of my point that I can give advice to you guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Yowas. Now, yeah, give applause. Okay, thank you so much for community representative to give feedback and to give insight. Yeah, this is what Startup Huddle is all about. So, both of you, do you want to ask to the community representative?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, maybe one question for me is like, aku use bahasa aja ya.
Yep.
Jadi pertama kali kembali lagi karena kita adalah startup, hari itu kita nggak punya mentor, kita nggak punya siapa-siapa. Expertise saya cuma satu, saya hobi coding, itu aja hari itu. Terus kemudian dari relation saya, mungkin 1 atau 2 orang datang minta tolong, saya bikinin. Kemudian 1 atau 2 orang datang minta tolong saya bikinin, sampai akhirnya saya pikir, kenapa saya nggak bikin satu produk aja yang bisa saya sell. Nah, tapi Indogo sendiri sebetulnya at the end fokusnya jangan ke produk. Karena Indogo sendiri untuk yang hari ini saya bawa, itu fokusnya bukan di produk, tapi fokusnya lebih ke online konsultasi. Which is bukan saya yang harus solve juga everything pada dasarnya. At the end, Indogo bisa kolaborasi dengan everyone. Ya, for example, maybe Pak Kevin, or maybe another person who have solution, they can go to Indogo. Ya, they just give the question, for example, like what Indogo do ya for nowadays. For example, like you choose your field. For example, you are toko emas, you are apotek, or what are you doing at? And then, for example, she said cafe. And then in cafe, we will ask, do you need a food truck solution or no? No. Do you need assembling or no? No. Do you need a bill of material or no? No. Do you need POS? Yes. Do you need inventory? Yes. Do you need like antrian or ticketing? Yes. And then at the end, Indogo will give the solution. So for Indogo, it's just it. No more than a product. A product is just like a starter because it's our products before. Yeah, maybe this little bit, maybe our presentation is not very clearly, so I try to give that clearly. So at the end, Indogo will not go by themselves, by just Indogo, and then the product is just from you. No, no, no. Indogo will go for another company who already have solution. For example, like Kevin said before, or maybe like ERP already made and something like that. But actually, for me, why I'm not like choose one? Because yeah, back again, because I'm a startup, I didn't have mentor. That's why my hope also was why I joined at America to to sharpen this. In which one field that I should be go, and yeah, not just like a financial. It's not my main focus. Yeah, to find. I find the mentor too. So for example, like Budia, because before you said like already in Womanpreneur, already SME, I will ask you to contact you more after this also. So my question is like, yeah, you can applause. It's okay. So my question is like, for me it's like how I can grow. Yeah, how can I grow? For me, that's my question. It's mean like you already know maybe some of my experience and my journey. So what do you think my next step should be? Yeah, thank you.
Oke, ada tambahan dari Wisnu?
Nggak ada.
No. Oke. So, the audience, berikan dong sesuatu. Ini saya mesti tembak nih kayaknya nih. Bu Monik, silakan dong Bu. Ini Bu Monik mesti ditembak langsung. Silakan Bu.
So yeah, so it's a really great presentation from you two. So congratulations for Indigo. This is my first time actually to hearing your business model. So I would like to ask you actually about the core of your business. It's the IT building or what? I mean, what is the core? The core of your business model? Yeah.
Business tools.
Business tools, yeah. I mean, in business tools, the core is the technology, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you built the IT, correct, for the entrepreneurs that want to use your tools.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it's my logic. I mean, it's a simple logic. Okay, so because you build tools for these entrepreneurs, I would like to know the degree of their involvement in making these tools, the degree of the customization. Is it just a template or you can customize it? And how about the degree, the level of the customization for each entrepreneurs? Because I believe each entrepreneurs have their own characteristic. And is it gonna affect the pricing? Yeah, please, I would like to know.
Yeah, of course it will affect the pricing, but it's like, yeah, because I already have a lot of experience from 2008, and I already try like one product that already I go to, yeah, one big company also in Indonesia. We go to their company and they did benchmark with our ERP, and they said, yeah, your product is more than, yeah, one mark. I'm not call the name, but yeah, maybe you know the price is like around 9 million. Yeah, maybe you know who, yeah, 10 billion, yeah, and maybe you know who is it. So yeah, by that day, I was like, just it's the first time for me to have like my eyes open that wow, our product is already quite big, quite complete, and quite cheap. That's why I begin my startup, and I was oh yeah, because before maybe I'm just suburban people. I don't know everything. I just like to code. I like to help people to digitalize their system because I'm not make program. Okay, I make system. It's different. Program is just program. 1 + 1 is 2. But system, 1 + 1 by 8 o'clock is 2. It's a system. So it's totally different. So yeah, that's my background expertise. So about the price is, yeah, of course it will be different. But nowadays, because it's already long journey to make that products, nowadays, yeah, because this is not a competition, right? So you cannot ask like, okay, you can test me in which your business and then you can try the Indoco product. So I cannot ask like that. But after this, maybe you can do that. Thank you.
Give applause.
Thank-
Thank
okay.
you. Okay, is there any others? Masih ada?
Just a follow-up question. Just a follow-up, can I? Just a follow-up. Okay, so what is ERP? I'm hearing that. ERP?
ERP.
ERP.
Yes.
What is ERP? I
ERP
mean,
is,
Oh.
is enterprise resource planning.
oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Resources. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to understand. This is not something that I'm familiar with, but what I like to understand is your business tools is like a supermarket, right? From A to Z, like that.
For Indogo at the end, yes.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Okay, like a supermarket for business tools.
Yes.
So can we, for now, currently, if we want to ask your help, we can do it like a la carte product. Like I'm not gonna need the supply chain management. I'm just gonna need for the POS, for example, or the taxation system. Can we do that? Like the a la carte products, like, you know?
For Indogo, no.
Oh,
But
no.
for company, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Because we have like two. We have like IT products and we have IT solution. For Indogo is IT products, so we cannot do that. But if like, yeah, someone need, we will like move in another company when we said IT solution. That's why when you ask for the team, I count for Indogo. I'm not count for the whole of my company. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I think all the questions. Oh, okay, okay. One more. Ya, berikan mic-nya. Oke, dari mana Ibu? Silakan.
Hi, my name is Vera. I like to continue Pak Yowas' comment. It's very interesting one, and as entrepreneur, I face this quite often. So, do you actually know that a digitalized system and a digitalized business is two totally different things?
Yes.
Yes. Totally.
And how are you going to bridge that? Because a lot of business owners, they don't understand what is a digitalized business. So your tools is useless to those who don't understand. There's so many choices of systems out there. We have the luxury of that. But the point is about the mindset. So as Pak Yowas said, it's about the business owner themselves, the policy maker of the company. That is the most important thing. So just saying this to you. So for example, I'm currently studying law, and we're talking about the cryptocurrency, NFT, etc., etc. We cannot make the law about it because do you actually think the lawmaker know anything about this kind of things? We don't even understand these animals. How could we make anything about it? So for a company to actually maximize the usage of your product, the company itself have to be ready for that first. So the bridging plays a very important role. That is just an opinion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oke, thank you. Mau dijawab?
Oke, aku jawab pakai bahasa aja ya. Jadi waktu pertama kali tadi aku bilang aku tentang hobi terus aku masuk, kemudian aku masuk ke toko emas, sebetulnya buat aku itu seperti berkah atau seperti benefit tersendiri. Karena kembali lagi kalau kita bicara tentang digital yang amat sangat susah dan kita bahkan nggak ngerti itu apaan, orang emas itu dari dulu itu terkenalnya adalah orang yang diem di toko dari pagi sampai malam, nggak bisa holiday, nggak bisa doing anything. Akhirnya kita malah ngebum di emas. Nah karena ngebum di emas itu yang kita harapkan ya kembali lagi ya buat saya semua hal itu aspek adalah kita usahakan. Tapi ada satu faktor Z yang saya percaya di atas yang ngatur. Nah, waktu itu saya berpikir, waktu saya akhirnya masuk emas, nggak ada yang mau main karena susah dan pasarnya nggak seksi, saya ngambil sebuah benefit bahwa waktu orang lihat emas aja bisa, berarti bisnis saya juga seharusnya bisa. Karena bisnis gue lebih gampang dari emas, dan orang udah tahu. Second generation terutama, waktu mulai masuk ke bisnis, makanya kita bilang kenapa pandemi ini menjadi boomnya kita, hampir semua usaha itu pindah ke second generation. Which is second generation itu udah ngerti tentang digitalisasi, dan to be honest, kenapa akhirnya perusahaan kita juga maju? Karena banyak perusahaan-perusahaan yang berbentuknya subscription, mereka booming banget ke pasar untuk ngajarin, untuk edukasi. Sebetulnya kenapa sih kamu harus pakai sistem? Why? Dan apa sih yang sebetulnya bisa kamu lakukan di sistem? Dan di situ karena kita memang sampai hari ini memilih untuk masih single fighter, belum dengan investor karena kita merasa belum bold yang sama, yang masuk sih udah beberapa. Tapi boldnya belum sama, kita memilih untuk single fighter karena kita berpikir kita mencari sesuatu yang justru agak berbeda. Waktu kita bicara tentang Indogo, dia adalah online consultation platform. Waktu kita bicara tentang ini binatang apaan gitu ya, ini animal apaan, ini sesuatu apa gitu. Ya itu memang harus dikerjakan bersama-sama. Nah kalau misalnya mungkin tadi saya jawab sedikit dari Budia, gimana sih saya entrance-nya? Ya saya masuk ke komunitas dan bagaimana apa yang kita lakukan, kita membangun namanya edukasi. Kita masuk ke SMK-SMK juga, kita ajarin ke mereka. Satu, biar agar kalau misalnya suatu hari mereka kerja pun, perusahaan mereka itu bisa pakai produknya Indogo. Entah produknya kita yang mana itu kita nggak tahu karena kembali lagi saya mau bedain jadi dua ya, IT product sama IT solution. Indogo itu totally IT products. Jadi kita nggak bicara tentang ini sistemnya harus gimana, seperti apa jalan itu kita nggak kerjain di Indogo. Jadi Indogo itu benar-benar instant solution system. Ya artinya dalam misalnya sekarang dia retail, dia konsultasi, dia coba demo, dia oke, dia jalan. Tapi kalau misalnya kita bicara ini ada new business yang udah bener lama, terus gimana sistemnya itu masuk ke IT solution. Which is dalam sisi bisnis, yaitu ada charge fee yang berbeda. Mungkin kurang lebih seperti itu penjelasan dari saya sih.
Oke.
Boleh tambahin sedikit?
Yes, one more. Only one.
Tadi dibilangin kan ada freelancernya ada lebih dari 20 ya.
Yes.
Itu semuanya programmer atau ada salesnya juga?
Oke, campur sih. Tapi kalau sales kita kebetulan rencananya mau pakai Indogo ini, ya kita masuk ke komunitas-komunitas, kita tahu di Indonesia juga ada komunitas-komunitas sales, kemudian kita juga tahu ada komunitas-komunitas yang juga bergerak. Kalau sales kita lebih prefernya ke bagian komunitas tersebut. Jadi freelancer ini lebih ke, sebetulnya saya teach mereka untuk how to build a system itself ya, because sistem itu nggak bisa pakai degree. Dia mau, maaf kata ya, dia mau lulusan S3 pun, kalau dia nggak pernah masuk ke fieldnya, dia do nothing. Itu yang saya tahu. Makanya saya lebih prefer untuk build a freelancer yang udah expertise di bagiannya. Misalnya contoh emas, saya akan cari orang yang memang udah mengerti emas atau at least punya sedikit garis emas lah. Baru saya mau ajarin gitu. Tapi kalau misalnya dia ternyata nggak pernah sama sekali, saya cuman bener-bener newcomer and new fresh graduate, ya itu nggak kita ambil sih. Kurang lebih kayak gitu sih.
Jadi kalau seandainya memang tadi dibilang bahwa Indogo itu provide consultation, apakah itu akan jadi seperti sebuah marketplace bagi business tools atau gimana?
Kurang lebih ke depannya itu yang kita rencanakan dan kita inginkan. Kembali lagi ke yang Bu Monica tadi bilang, at the end kita mau bikin dia kayak supermarket.
Oke, berarti harus ada banyak kerjasama dengan beberapa
Vendor.
pihak kan?
Yes,
Iya.
correct.
Itu targetnya.
That's all from me.
Oke, thank you. Once again, give applause. Wah, ini kalau saya nggak stop, bisa jam 9 nih. Tapi senang banget ya, malam hari ini terjadi interaksi, kemudian bisa tanya dua arah, dan ini sedang Startup Huddle kembangkan terus. Thank you untuk Pak Ivan yang selalu support ya untuk melihat dari sudut yang lain, dan kita keren banget punya banyak teman-teman dari iCommunity, ayo tepuk tangan. Wih, keren, ya kan? Nah, thank you so much untuk semua community representatif, semua audiens yang datang, dan thank you juga untuk kalian berdua. Nah, sesi Q&A sudah selesai, kemudian sebelum sesi ini berakhir, ada satu yang harus kita tanyakan dan tolong jawab dengan tegas. What can we as a community do to help you? Kamu mau ditolong apa? Mau apa? Mau apa? Mau apa? Silakan.
Oke, saya simpel aja sih, mau mentor, itu aja.
Yap.
Udah, itu aja.
Oke, community representatif, udah denger ya, dia mau mentor, dia nggak mau uang. Jadi aman.
Karena menurut aku mentor yang bagus bakal bantuin aku cari uang daripada aku dapat uang tapi aku nggak dapat mentor, nanti aku get nothing juga.
Oke, tepuk tangan. Thank you so much. Oh, dia mau dua-duanya, keren emang pinter ini. Saya udah tahu dia. Oke, thank you for your explanation, both of you. I'm sure the community can help you. And kita udah di ujung akhir dari acara dan sekarang saya minta kepada community representatif untuk berikan closing remarks tentang acara Startup Huddle ini. Jadi bagaimana menurut kalian program Startup Huddle ini dan bagaimana kita juga bisa membantu banyak entrepreneur agar supaya sesi 50 menitan loh, ya kan, itu di drill habis. Nah, itu kita mau spread to the world supaya bisa banyak orang yang terbantu. Silakan Bu Dia.
Terbantu nggak, Mbak?
To be honest, waktu saya pertama kali start, yang saya membuat saya terbantu untuk exposure, untuk pengalaman, dan untuk anything itu buat saya presentasinya seperti ini. Dan Startup Huddle termasuk salah satu yang buat saya bikin agak tegang dan tangan dingin juga sih. Thank you.
Oke, tadi sebenarnya ada pertanyaan dari Mbak Evelyn ya, yang untuk tadi ya, apa yang harus dilakukan next gitu kan?
Yeah.
So as a womenpreneur also kan, jadi yang aku bisa sarankan tentunya ya open mind, kemudian keep learning, kemudian researchnya harus lebih dalam lagi tentang behavior customer segala macam, dan tentunya networking. Nah, satu lagi belajar dari seperti tadi saya bilang, sebenarnya program seperti ini saya tahu sendiri sudah pernah banyak dilakukan oleh banyak teman-teman, tapi memang tidak ada yang memuaskan gitu ya. Karena memang tadi balik lagi ke Mbak Vera bilang juga, dan pengalaman kami memang mindsetnya, karena sekarang ini di Indonesia masih based on necessity tadi, masih sebagian besar itu. Jadi mindset entrepreneurship-nya ini yang masih, saya pun masih sangat bicara di mana-mana tentang mindset ini. Nah, ketika mindset, karena memang beda sama kalau kita bandingin dari negara maju ya, itu beda banget gitu. Nah, ketika once mindsetnya udah dapat, mereka akan cari sendiri sebetulnya. Nah, tadi ini sekalian ya, karena pas ngomong tadi, kalau kita ngomong toko emas tentunya mereka bukan di ultra micro ya. Jadi mungkin nanti positioningnya bisa seperti tadi Mas Yowas sampaikan, positioningnya mesti dicari lagi nih sebenarnya positioning di mana. Karena setahu saya pasti toko emas itu bukan ultra micro. Itu di sini kan, karena di sini ditulisnya kan positioning software right now is the ultra micro to micro gitu ya. Jadi tadi balik ke pertanyaan Pak Edi, tentunya acara-acara seperti ini harus terus digairahkan, terus diperbanyak gitu ya, sehingga memang banyak kita berbagi pengalaman gitu kan, sehingga yang baru mulai pun nggak perlu dari dasar banget gitu kan, harus tadi kan Mbak Evelyn juga bilang waktu awal nggak ada mentor segala macam. Nah, dengan seperti ini kan jadi ketemu-ketemu gitu ya kan, karena apalagi ini menjelang kemerdekaan Indonesia yang ke-77 gitu ya. Jadi saya mau bikin acara nih ya, Festival Entrepreneur Indonesia. Jadi bagaimana sebenarnya entrepreneurship for the nation. Jadi entrepreneurship itu bukan hanya untuk kita sendiri, tapi memang untuk Indonesia. Pak Ivan juga sangat aktif di GEN ya, di Global Entrepreneurship Network, yang itu ada 180 negara. Kita bisa lihat Indonesia itu ada di mana gitu ya Pak Ivan ya. Dan inilah yang kita secara sosial, secara community harus bersama-sama, nggak bisa sendiri-sendiri. Jadi saya sangat apresiasi acara-acara seperti ini, dan tentunya kita harus bersatu menguat. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Thank you Budia, thank you Pak Kevin, silakan.
Iya, pada akhirnya kesimpulan setelah berkecimpung di banyak dunia startup, poin singkatnya adalah gen dari startup itu sebenarnya di mindset. Nah, mindsetnya itu dari mana mulainya? Pertama adalah make something people really want. Jangan apa yang founder mau. Oleh karena itu kita harus rajin turun ke pasar, turun ke konsumen, real, gali benar-benar apa kebutuhan utama mereka. Itu dulu yang tadi makanya saya tekankan di product market fit misalkan. Itu bukan omong kosong, bukan data-data manipulasi, bukan tipu-tipu, kadang-kadang supaya presentasinya bagus kita pakai data-data palsu. Tapi itu membohongi diri sendiri. Karena itu nanti ketika dijalankan, kalian akan kecewa. Nah kalau ini benar-benar mau dilaksanakan secara sungguh-sungguh, dan saya juga kan pasti tahu ya passion kalian luar biasa ya. Tapi ini mungkin saya ingatkan gitu ya sebagai sama pelaku startup gitu ya. Jadi ini masalah mindset. Jadi nomor satu rule-nya, make something people really want. Itu dulu rumusnya. Kalau sudah, baru nomor dua, grow fast, grow big fast. Itu rumus nomor dua yang tadi Pak Ivan sampaikan. Kalau sudah ketemu nih segmen pasarnya, product market fit-nya udah ketemu, nah pertanyaan berikutnya bagaimana Anda membuat ini meledak cepat? Karena tadi kalau memang ternyata market gold-nya sudah nggak seksi, artinya mungkin let's say kalian sudah menguasai 80% misalkan pangsa pasar, artinya growth-nya kan terbatas. So saran saya, ya udah kalau gitu, itu bukan lagi startup company tuh. Yang handle perusahaan atau solusi buat gold itu bukan lagi perusahaan startup. Tapi itu kalau mau jadi konvensional solution silakan, enggak apa-apa. Oh udah ada omset jangan dilepas. Tapi bukan startup itu. Kalau Anda mau startup berarti tadi kita drill lagi yang retail nih. Bukan berarti tadi dibilang jungle, hutan belantara, bukan berarti Anda nggak boleh masuk ya, bukan. Tapi tadi kembali lagi nih mindsetnya, find the solution people really want to di retail. Ini biarkan aja nih yang di jalan. Tapi ini gali lebih dalam. Nah kenapa? Kami tadi ngomongin banyak, kalau saya ngomongin tentang early adapter. Di retail itu kan juga terfragment juga nanti banyak. Kebutuhannya apa, industrinya apa, kota di mana, segmen pengusahanya berapa. Kalian fokus dulu. Tadi sorry ya, maksudnya saya melihat kalian masih tahap pencarian aja udah mulai go Indonesia. Kalau saya tidak menyarankan. Mendingan kalian misalkan jadi jagonya retail misalkan di Banten atau di Tangerang atau di Jakarta atau dimanapun lah. Silakan pilih yang fokus dulu. Kalau sampai benar-benar sudah hit kembali nih. Tadi kan kembali pertanyaannya kalau sudah dapat solusi untuk benar-benar people really want to, then grow fast. Nah tahap grow fast itu nanti udah ilmunya udah beda. Karena itu udah beda lah. Itu udah beyond. Nah itu kamu butuh, jangan bilang nggak butuh investor. Nggak sanggup. Kalau masih tahap drill, yes, kalian nggak butuh investor, bisa. Tapi kalau udah grow big fast, sekelas Alfamart aja butuh investor. Ya kan? Nah jadi mungkin itu masukan dari saya. Terima kasih.
Oke, berikan tepuk tangan. Thank you Pak Kevin.
Actually bukan nggak butuh sih Pak. Karena tadi ditanyanya harus 1, 2, 3 sekarang apa yang paling mau, ya sekarang mentor.
Langsung todong dong.
Langsung todong.
Kan tadi udah langsung ngomong,
langsung.
after this langsung kontak, tadi udah ngomong.
Oke, sekarang Pak Yowas, silakan Pak.
Oke. Kalau dari saya, I just want to quote, ini one of our friends juga, dari Pak Dian Martin, Ketua Asosiasi Digital Marketing. He once said one sentence to me gitu, dia bilang gini, lebih baik jadi raja kecil di satu sektor, daripada kita nggak jadi siapa-siapa atau mediocre di satu area. Itu the best conclusion of how semua yang Pak Kevin barusan bilang. It's better kalau we appoint one sector specifically and we are the top of mind and the king of that sector. It will be the best. Then after that you grow from that step by step. I think that's the most visible path that you can take from now, I think. Back to the question from Pak Edi, I think Startup Huddle harus lebih sering Pak, definitely. Nggak bisa once a month, because me and Pak Edi used to mentorship startup two times a week ya Pak ya. Two times a week. And even sometimes we say it's not really enough to mentor a startup to 2 times a week. I think Startup Huddle need to do more, and I think this kind of event is very good because like Pak Kevin said, you need to go to the market, find what's going on, and then you go up, find the mentor, then you can validate whether your idea is good, whether your business opportunity is good or not. I think that's my conclusion. Thank you, Pak.
Oke.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank you Pak Yoas, berikan tepuk tangan, thank you banget. Thank you sekali lagi untuk semua yang sudah hadir di tempat ini. Thank you at Amerika, udah menyediakan satu tempat yang keren banget dengan tim yang keren banget, multimedia, thank you so much. Dan untuk Pak Ivan, thank you selalu support Startup Huddle ya dengan Gen. Dan kita ini adalah satu keluarga besar Gen. Dan oke. Kita sudah selesai di acara Startup Huddle. Saya berusaha untuk on time. Waktunya juga udah pas. Nah, saya kembalikan kepada Adinda. Silakan Adinda.
Once again, give a big round of applause for our discussion today. Thank you so much for joining us today. And remember, earlier in this event, we had a question of the day. The question was, Silicon Valley is located in... And the answer is C, San Francisco. Shout out to @Mulyana Wade from Instagram for answering correctly. So maybe you have a similar specific ideas that you would like to have in America. Feel free to submit your proposal to our website at www.atamerica.or.id. Select create a program and go to collaborate with us. All the event proposals will be reviewed and your event might be featured here soon. You can also check out our social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at